Enjoying spring so far. I don't know that I've ever been so happy to see spring arrive. Okay, so everyone should be able to see the presentation on the screen, see me, and be able to hear my voice. If you can give a yes into the chat box, just to let me know that indeed all of that is working for you. I will be referencing a couple of resources in the session today. Those are going to be in that chat box as well. And I did just add those again. We will be putting those in the chat box later too. Okay, so it looks like it is officially 2 o'clock. So welcome to Tuesdays at 2. Thank you for joining me for the spring crafts for your homeschool. For those of you new to homeschooling or Shiller Learning, we are part of the nonprofit Rising Stars Foundation. Our goal is to help students of all abilities and budgets get the benefits of a Montessori-based personalized education to maximize their potential. And we support parents and educators with no lesson prep math and language arts curricula, as well as other resources like today's Tuesday at 2. So check out our blog for free downloads that will enrich your homeschool no matter what curriculum you are using. As I mentioned, today we are going to be talking about spring crafts for your homeschool. I am your host, Antoinette LaGrossa, and spring has sprung and is incredibly welcome. After the long winter we've had, this is the perfect opportunity to freshen up your homeschool day with some seasonal activities. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Well, let's see. Okay, just wanted to make sure that was functioning right. Okay. I will first direct you to a resource that is included right in your account at Shiller Learning, no matter what you have purchased from us, even if it was something that you had used a promo code for a download. All customers at Shiller Learning have access to the bonus craft section found under My Account, My Downloads. You know, while these are all excellent selections, there are some like growth, make a math garden, the number necklace, and number fishing that fit nicely with a spring theme, as does the paper weave placemat. This is one of the crafts. There are full instructions in that download for it. If you are not a Shiller Learning customer and would like those instructions, just reply to the email for today that had the link for the session and request that, and we can send that to you. If you are watching the replay of the session, just email log@shillerlearning.com and we can get to those full instructions for you. Okay, so the paper weave placemat, this is something that a lot of us did as kids. It can be done throughout the year in seasonal colors. So this is something that you can do more than once. And you'll find that as your child repeats this activity, they're going to get better and better at it. You can get more creative. You can give it, you know, use different papers. It makes a nice seasonal print if you use a printed paper for one of the weaves in there. You can also use recycled paper, and just tearing sheets out of a magazine and fold those up. That's also going to give you a glossy look and some interesting colors. So you can wrap up the pages of a magazine in various thicknesses. You can do that thin or thick as pictured, and use seasonal stickers or washi tape to decorate those for springtime. And this is going to make an excellent personalized touch for special springtime family celebrations. You know, if you're celebrating Passover, Easter, or celebrating getting together with, you know, the grandparents for the first time in a while. This will set the stage for a special event. Okay, so the materials that you need for this are the colored construction or other heavy paper, including recycled materials, safety scissors, glue or tape, and then your desired supplies for decorating. So invite the child, you know, let's make a placemat, and then help your child to fold and cut the frame page. And you can see that in that upper left there. And these diagrams here are included in the downloads from the Shiller Learning craft section. And again, just let us know if you need that. Okay. So you're going to help the child fold and cut the frame page. That's the first, if the child is doing that for this first time. With subsequent tries at this activity, they may not need quite as much direction. Okay, and then you can also, you can see there that the spacing is uniform. You can also try varying the distance between splits, or not even weaving the entire sheet of paper, just doing a weave, you know, maybe as a border on the top or a side. So change it up, let the child get creative. And then help the child to cut the weaving strips. These again can also vary in width and color. Start at one corner of the frame and push one of the weaving strips through the first slit, and then simply continue bringing that over and under the frame cords by pushing it through additional slits. And then you want to press that all the way up to either the left or right of that weaving frame, all the way to one edge, and then continue adding new strips until the page is filled up. And again, you know, it helps if you are pushing those into place and flattening that out periodically. And once you have that full, tape or glue the loose strips, you know, those edges to the back of the frame for a finished look. And then go ahead and decorate it, whether it's those stickers, the washi tape, or even if your child creates a special holiday picture and they want to cut out portions of that and attach that, you know, to decorate maybe the side of it and create a 3D look. Again, this is going to be beautiful on a holiday table. Okay, creating flowers is a quintessential part of the elementary school experience. We've all done it in one form or another. Paper flowers, I can tell you, have come a long way since I was a kid. And, you know, a sophisticated project is not beyond your reach. You know, use a quality material to create your craft, whether it's fabric, felt, craft paper, tissue paper, or even coffee filters. You just want whatever you choose to be a quality selection, as with all, Montessori activities that you're doing. Personally, I love the results that you get with felt or the coffee filters because both of those give a really nice feel to the petals. You can make a lovely bouquet, which makes a great Mother's Day gift for grandmom, or use blossoms to create a door wreath. And for the frame of that, you can simply use a metal wire hanger to make your circle and then add those individual blossoms to decorate that, a little piece of ribbon, and that makes it a wonderful welcome at the door. You can use the blossoms also to decorate things like hair accessories, picture frames, homemade cards. And who doesn't love a homemade card? Or a napkin ring. Again, that's going to be a perfect addition to the family table for a springtime celebration and would beautifully accompany your paper weave placemats that we just looked at. You could also use your blossoms to decorate the number necklace in the Shiller Learning crafts. Okay, and a resource for templates. You could create your own templates for your flowers, but there is a resource, and I did put it into the chat. There it is one more time. That's the link for what's up on the screen here. At template.net, they have this link on this page. You will find 20 plus free templates for creating a whole variety of different flowers. And they even have templates designed specifically for coffee filter flowers. So check that out. I think that is going to be a one-stop shop for you for doing a whole range of created flower projects, crafts, and gifts. And there's even, I had mentioned homemade cards. There is even a template for making a beautiful flower pop-up card. Alrighty, now that you have a beautiful place setting with spring woven placemats and napkin rings adorned with flowers, how about some painted eggs for a centerpiece? I love this idea. Over the years with my 5 children, I have used myriad methods of dyeing eggs, waxing eggs, but we've never painted them. This is one that I am going to be doing this year. And we've even done blowing out the eggs and then dyeing them and decorating with wax, but not painting. Okay, so for this, you are simply going to need some raw eggs. Don't boil them. An egg carton, a pin or needle. Straight needle works very nicely for this. An assortment of paint. If you have young ones, you'll want that probably to be a washable paint. For the older kids, acrylics can give you some really beautiful results. Paint brushes, and then old shirts for smocks. Whenever you're doing painting, even if it is a washable paint, smocking up with that old shirt can really make cleanup a whole lot easier. And then, of course, maybe some, if you get a newspaper still delivered, you do, add some newsprint to the work surface, again, for easy cleanup. Okay, so we are going to take those eggs and use a safety pin to create a hole in both the top and the bottom of your egg. One of those holes needs to be a bit larger than the other. Again, a straight pin does work well for this, but you can use a safety pin or push pin as well. Okay, so you'll stick the pin all the way into the egg and break the yolk. If you don't break the yolk, it's going to be a lot more difficult to blow through that little hole that you've made. You will blow the yolk through the smaller hole. So again, blowing through the smaller hole so that your yolk that you have broken is going to come out through the slightly larger hole that you have created. You may lose some eggs in this process, not the end of the world. So, if your child accidentally breaks an egg, don't let that, discourage them in the process of this project. Okay, so blow all of that egg out, rinse it out with some water, and then blow out any remaining water that is inside that egg. Let them completely dry before you begin the painting. Otherwise, you can end up with a result that's not quite as good as it would be otherwise. You can flip that egg carton upside down, and the bottom becomes a stand for painting the egg. And then, let the child decide, how they're going to decorate that, if they want to use, create a scene on it, do abstract painting, stripes, polka dots. The possibilities, as with all art projects, are endless, and let their creativity go with that. Now, one of the things that you can do is, if you are going to be using these as a centerpiece, select colors to coordinate with what your table is going to be. And then once that has completely dried, you can go ahead and use a permanent marker like a Sharpie to write the date and your child's name on the egg, because this is something that could be stored and then pulled out annually as a special family decoration, or given away as a special gift. Okay, so those are all some crafts that we'd be doing inside. But as I mentioned, this spring was long awaited after that long shut inside winter we have had. So it is the perfect time to get outdoors. We do have a few suggested reading selections. Getting kids outdoors is so important, and is something that Maria Montessori greatly stressed, that the child's connection with nature. So the titles on the screen here, these are all excellent, talking about the importance of getting your child outside and some things that you can do with them. So make note of those. You can get a lot of those through a public library. Okay, so what are some things that we can do outside that have a crafty component? One of them is doing a weekly nature study with Flowerworks. So go ahead and take a family nature hike and find flowers for doing pressed Flowerworks. Of course, you want to either pick those flowers on your own property or have permission to collect flowers wherever it is that you are planning on going. This is, and I'm going to just pop we have Shiller Learning offers a free spring activity pack that is available at our blog. I just put that in the comments, in the chat here. If you are watching the replay, it'll be in the comments below. In that spring activity pack, there are some extension ideas for this, as well as some other wonderful outdoor spring activities that you can do with your child. Again, completely free resource. Okay, and then have your child collect flowers. When you are pressing flowers, it does take a little time. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. You get your best results if the flowers are allowed to sit for some weeks. And you want to lay that flower carefully between a couple of sheets of acid-free paper, and then get a stack of the heaviest books that you have in your house and press those between there. Again, let them sit for as long as possible. And if you do this weekly, you will have a steady stream of pressed flowers that you can do beautiful things with. So the same things that we talked about, being able to decorate with your homemade flowers, you can do with real pressed flowers. They make wonderful gifts. So you can decorate those same kinds of crafts, household items. You can also add them to your nature journal. If you have not started a nature journal with your child yet, highly recommend that. It's great for starting your child in the process of journaling and just going out. They can, spend time just staring at the sky, looking at the scenes, make notations of what they see, what they hear, what they smell, draw pictures. So it's a nice way of getting kids started with the process of writing. And then adding flowers, leaves, twigs to that nature journal can be nice keepsakes of those journeys. Again, you just want to have permission to collect flowers before you do that. Okay, another outdoor related craft is to do a scavenger or treasure hunt. For this, the first step is to have your child create a map of your yard or nearby park. So wherever you're going to be doing this activity, and then include all of the landmarks, whether they are natural or, excuse me, or man-made. Just a second. Okay, so have your child create that map. You want to include the boundaries of whatever that location is, include roadways, sidewalks, paths, shrubbery, your house, if that's where you are going to be doing the activity, any bodies of water, a bridge, outbuildings, etc., any landmarks. And when you're doing the map, one of the things that you can do with just plain paper is to brush it with some tea to make it look aged. So brew some strong tea and then just have your child paint over that to discolor it and make it look like an aged map. Include on there the markings for your direction, the north, south, east, and west. And then whether you're going to be doing a scavenger hunt where they find a list of things that you're selecting, or you want to hide a treasure that they can locate, maybe it's an Easter basket. You can pair those clues with directions, that north, south, east, and west. So this is something that they can craft to create that map. and then practice some of those directional skills that are included in Math Kit 1 in that scavenger or treasure hunt. Kids love either the treasure hunt or scavenger hunt. You could even do both of those activities using the same map and just repurpose it. Okay. Now, this next activity does not necessarily need to be done outdoors, but I like to do this outside simply because with using an easel, it makes it very conducive to painting outside. You don't need a table or a chair. And Dover Publications has a wonderful series called Color Your Own, and it will be a series of different artists. For example, Color Your Own Van Gogh paintings. And with this, you can create a masterpiece of your own. Take this to a copy store and have it blown up to the full size of your easel. Again, take your easel outside, set up a painting station outdoors, and use a paint palette. If you don't have a paint palette similar to the one on the screen, a foam paper plate with a little hole cut out so that it makes it easier for them to hold on to, that little thumb hole, is something that is easily improvised. And then let your child create their own masterpiece based on one of those famous pieces of art. And then with this, they can do a whole host of things. It can simply be, hung on the refrigerator. You can frame this. You can, depending on your selection, use that painting then for a craft or as wrapping paper. This works nicely for a really special gift, to have that homemade wrapping paper from a masterpiece. You can do this with any coloring book. The adult coloring books tend to, have more detail, which once they're blown up makes for nice painting sections. But Dover, check those out. I think you'll really like those. Okay, and then lastly, don't forget Sidewalk chalk. The possibilities really are endless with this. It's something you probably all have around the house. And Sidewalk chalk, just set a time. Okay, we're going outside for the next 40 minutes with some chalk, and you can do whatever you want. This is perfect for open-ended art play. The child can create pictures, large scenes, murals. They can practice numbers, letters, or do the multiplication and division hopscotch that we do in our Math Facts Boot Camp. If you're not familiar with our Math Facts Boot Camp, it is a live online class where we work directly with the kids and train them in multi-sensory activities that they can do to practice their math facts. So we've recently changed the structure of that a little bit. We used to do all the operations in a series of 4 classes in a month. We've just recently changed that so that it's in a month you've got 4 classes, but they'll be on either addition and subtraction, so you have 2 weeks of each, or multiplication and division, again, 2 weeks of each of those. So in addition to pictures and practicing things with their sidewalk chalk, something else that is nice to do is to create a list of inspirational quotes for your child. And if you have downloaded our free homeschool parent planner or free homeschool student planner, you will see in there are some inspirational quotes and some pages for creating your list. So have that list of inspirational quotes and have your child pick one to decorate the driveway. And then that is going to last there for a few days or until it rains, and continue to inspire both you and your child every time you walk out the door until it gets washed away, and then you can pick a new one. Okay, again, do check out our spring activity pack. That is going to have additional craft resources for you for the spring. So download that. It's entirely free. I just put that into the chat box there again. Did anyone have any questions that we did not get to in the session? And it does not have to be related on the topic. We would love to see pictures of your springtime table decorated with your paper weave placemats, the flowers that you're going to create, the flowers that you are pressing, as well as your painted eggs. So tag us in pictures on social media, and we can be found on any of your favorite outlets, be it Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. That's the one I was trying to think of. So tag us on there. We would love to see pictures of the crafts that you're doing, and even your child's masterpiece that they have painted. So thank you for joining us for today. We will be back next week with some activities for the tactile learner. Okay, excellent.